Hi, this is Sandy, Wellness with Attitude, and coach, collaborative coach, navigating life's curves. This is Christmas Eve, and perhaps you're in a great mood and you're with family. Perhaps you're not in a not so great mood and you're not with family. Perhaps you're with family and you're not in a great mood. So, wherever you are, I hope that this touches you in some way and allows you to have a few moments, a different thought. And you may well be listening to this sometime other than Christmas Eve, but I think the message is probably still the same. So this will be kind of short and brief. Um, One of the things I wanted to share with you, I'm going to go down to share a screen here for just a second, because this was my intention. My intention was to talk to you about some of the things that you might be grateful for and to kind of be play a little bit of holiday gratitude bingo. Whether you played it all month, whether you want to play it from today forward, whether you do several things today because you have the time and you're thinking about some other people. So just take a peek here, and maybe we all start out with just being grateful for our health. Maybe you can do something nice for a neighbor. I brought over some of our favorite coffee and cookies to some of our neighbors. Kind of felt like Oprah, but her gifts are a little bit bigger. Um, Maybe you can think about someone who is alone and you can reach out and give them a call, that little hug. Maybe your people are still delivering FedEx and UPS and Prime and mailman and mail ladies and all the people that are still out there working. Maybe we can think about really offering them a thank you for their services. They must be exhausted by the time they get home, and whether they get home to family or not is, of course, who knows during this time. So I just wanted to share that with you, and that was really my intention of what I wanted to share and go down that road a little bit more today. But instead of doing that, I had a few moments today that I wanted to share with you from my heart. And it started out with many of you know that in addition to being a coach, I'm a yoga instructor. And my crazy students wanted to have a yoga class this morning to kind of get themselves centered and psychologically in the right place. And I will tell you that one of them came in tears. She had been crying for hours this morning because her grandson is up in New York and we're here in Charlotte, and he has some challenges health wise, and she's only 4 years old, and she really had wanted in her heart to be able to be there with him, and so she was just in a really tough place. And then one of my other yoga students came in, and she was out last evening with her student driver, and a woman hit the back of their car, and it wasn't bad, and it was just a little tap on their car, but the student driver was, of course, you know, frazzled. And it turns out that the woman who hit her had a daughter in the car who was pregnant, and so naturally they're concerned about that. And so the long and the short of all of this is they're just not a lot any damage on their car. And so she talked to the woman and she said, you do what you need to do with your insurance company or whatever, but we're not filing anything, we're not asking for anything. And the woman was in tears because she's out of work. So there were a couple of other light things that came into class. And so I kind of teach from my heart and from my intuition. And so we did some energy work this morning, and we did some yoga and some stretching, and but we did a lot to balance the energy centers in our body, and what we think about we bring about, so we needed to adjust some thinking. And so I'm going to make a suggestion to you today that if you're struggling at all, perhaps you can make some choices to move to make sure that um, you jump up and down or tap on your heart or look up something on the internet that will help you to find a way to generate some new energy. It's rainy and all here today, so maybe it's nice where you are and you can get out and take a walk. Or maybe the rain is a perfect time to get out and take a walk anyway. just being grateful that we have the freedoms to walk. So, on a lighter note, I wanted to also share some other moments that I um, observed in my day getting ready to have a little Christmas dinner. I'll go and get my mom, who's 91, and I'll go and bring her over. And we have two other friends who are widows, and we're going to have them in for dinner. So my husband is very kind and very gracious and to take care of all of us ladies. So as I was setting out some wine glasses, I realized that one of my yogis years ago had given me these wine glasses. So I cleaned them all up and I set them all out and I took a little picture and I sent it off to her and said, "You're here with us in our hearts today for our dinner." And then one of our other neighbors was talking about cranberry sauce, and my mother likes the jellied kind of cranberry sauce, which is not a favorite of mine. And my husband likes the whole cranberry sauce, which he usually likes to make, but since there's so few of us, he's decided not to do that this year. But I got a jar of whole and jellied cranberry sauce, and I sent it over to my neighbor because we had quite a chuckle over jellied cranberry sauce and the traditions of watching it go plunk on the dish. And so I sent that over and said, "Wishing you a Merry Christmas." And it's little things like that that put a smile on my face. I also put a note out for our postman and a little gift card. And then when I went to dress for dinner, I took out this pair of earrings and necklace, and they're crystals. And one of my yogis does some beautiful jewelry work, and I had her make this for me a couple of years ago when I was going to another friend's wedding. And so I am going to take a picture of that and send it to her with a special thank you as well. But before I did that, I wanted to sit and make my message to you on my Thoughtful Thursday. Even though it's Christmas Eve, it's still my commitment. It's still Thursday, so here I am. Now, on another note, I got a call from my son today, and he was going to bring the grandkids out tomorrow. And now he's not going to be able to do that because the youngest grandson um, has COVID and was diagnosed. And so they are in quarantine. And so little mama bear here, I'm called Tutu, was looking forward to having those little gremlins out here because we haven't had them here in 10 years. And so naturally I'm sad. And Opa, granddad is sad. And and my mother will be sad. But we also understand that it's just not something we can control. We're thankful that he doesn't have any symptoms really, and we're just keeping our fingers crossed and sending them healing light that nobody else in the family comes down with anything, and that they go through this quarantine with ease. So that is, of course, not something that is a happy thought, but it's real, and I think we have to deal with reality. And speaking of reality, I have to tell you that I've been with my husband now for 25 years. We haven't been married for 25 years, but we've been a couple for 25 years next March. And it's really nice when you can fall more deeply in love with the man that you're married to. And today, as he was out getting something settled for a client, he was driving home and there was a homeless man on the street. And he just couldn't let it go. And he turned and he went back and he asked the man if he was hungry. And of course, he said yes. And so my husband brought him, they were near a convenience store. And my husband brought him in. He said, "Get what you need. Get the food that you need, get medication that you need, get whatever you need. And this is on me." And so he did that. And the man was very grateful. And the attendant there was kind of in awe. And when my husband came home and told me the story, I was in tears. But it brings us to one of our philosophies as a couple. So it began a number of years ago as I'm a coach and as I'm a yoga instructor, and I deal with people and challenges and the highs and the lows. One of the things that we have said to each other is we can't save all the starfish, and we know that. but we can save one at a time. And this comes from a story that you can look up. And a little boy walking on the beach and says, I made a difference to that starfish. I helped to that starfish. So today he helped the starfish, encouraged the man to contact his family, and hopefully find that he could be accepted back into his family. So maybe there's somebody that you need to reach out to today. Maybe there's a starfish out there that just needs a virtual hug or a real hug or a forgiveness from you. So, whatever it is for your day today, I'm sending you heartfelt wishes for a Merry Christmas and moving into a new year. Of course, everybody wants things to be better and different, but it falls on us to make each day special and hold value in each day and value in each other. So, there's no way for me to fix everything, but I can save one starfish. And maybe if this message just touched you, I encourage you to just be the you that you need to be today. Love yourself, honor yourself, trust your instincts, be good to yourself. Merry Christmas.